Like, this is called the Pesky Report. Like,
welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 586, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Brian. Brian, how you doing tonight?
Great. Decent series, but I was kind of hoping for a better result tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It is a nice home series for the Red Sox. Their first home series win since April, since the first home series of the season against the San Diego Padres. That is how long ago the Red Sox last won a home series. Back when the vibes were still good. Garrett Crochet was healthy. Roman Anthony was healthy. Alex Cora was the manager of the team. So much has changed since the last time the Red Sox won a home series. And I was not charred like I am right now. I'm hurting, man.
If anybody's got an air conditioner, Jordan need one really bad. He's got a fan right now.
Please, I'm begging you. I was telling Brian this before we got on. I had a tank top on because like having sleeves on is painful, but I couldn't bear to look at myself in the camera and see how like much I look like a lobster. And it's
did you fall asleep at the beach or like what happened here?
No, so my little brother had an all-star tournament this weekend in Mansfield. Not to dox my location. I mean, I guess it's not really my location. It was this weekend, but they had a tournament this weekend, and I was like, "Oh, perfect! An opportunity to be out in the sun. I could work on my tan a little bit because I'm sure you can tell by looking at me, but I am Portuguese. Which is very clear by looking at me. You can tell. But yeah, my forearms tan really nicely.
Yeah.
My upper arms do not. I am very pasty. My face is very pasty. So I'm like, I'm going to work on my tan this weekend.
Okay.
So I intentionally, like, I wore a Celtics jersey, and I was like, I'm just going to let my body kind of fry for like 3 innings, and then I'm going to put a shirt on, like, put a baseball jersey over it. That was a bad idea. It's a very, very, very bad idea. Caught a little too much sun. And today I put a lot of sunblock on, and my burns did not get any worse. So for those of you listening, use me as a reminder to remember to wear your sunscreen.
Sure.
Because it is hell. But they did win their tournament, so that was nice.
Okay, it wasn't a complete loss. All right.
No, it was not. Although I did get pissed today watching them. Like there was some shenanigans going on in the game with the other team, and it made me mad. I was pissed.
Sure.
Dude. But they ended up winning, so I calmed down pretty quickly after the end result. But anyway, this is a Red Sox podcast, not a 12U All-Star podcast. We do not talk about youth baseball.
Right.
So we can jump right into game 1 of this series against the Texas Rangers. Sonny
Sure.
Gray on the mound against Jack Leiter. Do you remember back when it was the draft and there was like all those reports that he was trying to talk his way down to number 4 so he can get taken by the Sox?
Yep. It was him and Kumar Rocker. Those are the 2 studs, I think, for Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah. And I think Kumar went, like 8th or 9th in that draft, or maybe it was the next year.
Well, wasn't there some weird thing where he got drafted by somebody and then they didn't want him, and then he went to the Rangers eventually, or because he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt or something? I forget what there was a lot going on with that guy. And same thing with Leiter. He was lights out, and then it was like, what happened? And then he kind of got his act together, and he's been better, but in college it was like, we can't miss.
Yeah, it was wild how like those 2 in the same college rotation it was like borderline illegal how good they were. And like last year he was solid. Was Jack Leiter, had a 3.86 ERA, solid under the hood metrics, made 29 starts, 150 innings. This year he's reverted a little bit.
Yep.
He's been worse, and the Red Sox torched him.
Yes.
In game 1 of the series, which was really nice because they really do not like scoring runs at home.
No.
And especially they don't like scoring runs, period, against bad pitching.
No.
They took care of both of those in game 1, lit up Jack Leiter for 5 earned runs, 6 runs total over 5 innings, 8 hits, a home run against him. I believe that home run was by Wilson Contreras.
That's all he does is hit home runs now.
Yeah, he's a beast. He is an animal. What's your take on the Red Sox offense in game 1 and Wilson Contreras overall?
Well, I think they had multiple guys with like 3 hits. Was it final score? Was it 10-1? I believe was the final score, right? I mean, yeah.
Yes.
that's what I was used to them doing last year, and that's what they should be doing this year. And I know personnel has changed, and yada yada yada. But if they do that 2 out of 3, we're not. We're a lot happier when we do these podcasts. But it's just the consistency just isn't there. But Contreras, I mean, he's hitting the hell out of the ball. There's other guys in that game who have had some down years, and they're consistently too. But it snowballs. One guy has a good game, another guy has a good game. Not to switch gears, but it's like another great start by Sonny Gray as well. And you're kind of like, okay, like, is this the showcase so that we put him on the trade block and then get the most for him? Because it sure looks like that's kind of what's happening. After today's loss, they're 5 games out of the wild card now, even after they took 2 or 3. So, like, reality is going to set in pretty soon. We're still in June. I'm still with a chance, but it's like, at what point do you hold on to that guy? And people are going to want a guy like Gray because it seems like he's a pretty solid starter. But as far as the offense, I mean, that looked great, and then we'll get into game 2. It will look great. And even in the third game, they scored 4 runs. All these games are winnable. So I think from a optimistic point of view, things look good. But other than that, we still look at the final season regular record right now, and it's kind of like, yikes.
Yeah, it's hard to get too excited over a team that's overall counting tonight's game 29-40. Like it's
Right.
like it's just an ugly record.
Yep.
I've seen I saw a TikTok a few weeks ago talking about like the worst score in a blowout, like the worst 25-point deficit. It's like 84-59. Like it's just like it's 25, like it's the same as 85-60.
Right.
But when you're at 59 and they're at 84, like it just seems so much more than just a 25-point deficit. That's how I feel about the Red Sox at 29-40. Like it's just like you're still at 20, you're still in the 20s for wins. You're at 40 losses already. It just feels like so much more. Like
Right.
for the longest time when they were like 6 to 8 games under 500, it's like if they rattle off 10 to 12, they're back to 500.
Right.
It's obviously just one hot start, but you can kind of coast a bit. Like the Rangers are a game under 500 right now, and they're tied for the 3rd wild card spot. That's how
Right.
bad the American League is. So if you rattled off, 10 of 12 at the time, you're sitting in the Rangers position. But unfortunately, you did not. You continue playing with your food, and you're in 11 games under 500. And like you said, because the AL is so bad, there's hope, but it's dwindling by the day, like where you can't even really enjoy 2 out of 3 because it's like every loss is just another game that you have to claw yourself back to the 500 mark. Because it's like it's just they played with their food way too much early. They got off to such a horrible start, and it's like since Tracy's taken over, they're 4 under 500, which is better than they were with Cora, but it's not like the changes haven't been drastic enough as far as like the performance on the field, because I think we all agreed when they were 10-17, they were better than a 10-17 team on paper.
Oh yeah.
But I guess maybe not, because they've only gotten worse over time. Granted, better under Chad Tracy.
Yeah, well, I know you were watching the game because I heard it, before we got in before we started the podcast. But did you see the stat? They lead the league in runs scored, batting average, and something else like in the 9th inning. Did you see that weird thing? Like, I don't know how that's possible if like they're not, but I guess that means maybe because they're trailing, so they have the most at bats in like the bottom of the 9th inning because they're like they have one walk-off win all year or something crazy.
Yeah, they walked off in what? They walked off in the first series of the year, right?
Yeah.
I think as well. First home series of the season.
Yep.
They're like the top. They have like the most hits and the most runs in the 9th inning all season, which makes some sense. But it's like, I mean, this team has been they've been the kings of the fake comeback for like 5 or 6 years now. I swear to God, they do it all the time. They did it. It wasn't as aggressive tonight, but they did it tonight too. Where they, clawed their way back. Contreras hit the home run in the 6th, and then Willier drove in a run in the 8th, and then they got the go-ahead run to the plate in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
They didn't save their theatrics for the 9th. They did it in the 8th tonight, and then they just went down without a fight in the 9th inning.
Right.
But yeah, it's wild how good they are in the 9th inning overall as an offense when like these games have already been decided. I mean, they're 0-37 when they trail after 8, and that's not like. It's not crazy that you're so far under 500 when you're losing after 8 innings. It's literally you have to 3 outs to mount a comeback.
Right.
But like no wins.
Well, don't they have some other weird stat though that if they have the lead after the 7th inning though, they're like 18-3 or some weird number too. Like I think they have some there's some really weird stats with this team.
Yeah, they're a strange team. Like they're good teams aren't or bad teams aren't good on the road. Good teams aren't terrible at home. The Red Sox are somehow both.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they've managed to do that. Do you have any idea why you think that they're so bad at home? Do you think it's like the pressure of playing in front of the fan? What do you think goes into the fact that they're so bad at home?
I think it's just like, the way they built the roster, it just doesn't. So many things have to go right for them to win a game at home. And it's not huge, but it's, how many home runs does Contreras have to hit? And then it's like, okay, but Early's
Apparently
pitching
3
great.
tonight.
Right.
3 tonight would have been enough.
Yeah, but Early was pitching fine, and then he gives up a 2-run home run and another home, and it's just kind of like, and then Jack goes to the games that are winnable, and he's kind of like the series, killer. There's a lot of factors here, I felt bad. You know who I felt bad for tonight? All those Scottish fans that went to the game.
Yeah,
those guys
they
have
had
been
no
rocking.
idea when they bought their ticket tonight that they were going to be in the same ballpark as Jack Miller. They had no
I
idea.
think if they see Jack tonight, they should. I don't know, but yeah, Jack said that the Scottish fans were having a good time.
Against Jack.
Yeah, the 12-year-olds were drinking, which was great. But I ran into a lot of Scottish fans this weekend. They were really excited. They were having a blast. They took the 3-hour ride to Foxborough, or Boston Stadium, as they're calling it. But they had a really good time. But yeah, it's sad that we're not happy taking 2 or 3, but it's because of the hole they've dug themselves in, the injuries they have, Anthony's injury, Crochet's injury. It's if those 2 guys were healthy, how much better would they be? Probably a little better. If Bregman's on this team, are they better? Well, if you look at Bregman's stats, maybe. There's a lot of what ifs right now. I don't think any one of these things want to fix it. I think sometimes it's just not their year. Like last year, even. I know we made the playoffs and lost against the Yankees, but last year was a lot more fun. Even with trade endeavors and doing these other things, but. How many walk-offs did they have last year? I know Rafaela's, walk-off. It was a fun year last year. This year, it hasn't been as fun.
Yeah, the vibe is just tense, and it's kind of like a chicken and the egg situation because it's like they started on the road and they started slow, so the vibes when they came home are already bad. But it's like they tense up when they're at home. This isn't the first time in even in recent years that they've struggled at home. Last year was kind of like restoring order where they were actually a force at home. Like the last few years under Heim and even in 2024, first year under Breslow, they were really not a very good home team.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like the vibe of the ballpark. Obviously, there's a talent issue, especially when you talk about Crochet being out, Anthony being out. I'll even throw Costas in there because he's a talented dude. Theoretically, he'd be the DH if he was healthy and playing well. I'm sure he would have gotten a lot of burn in AAA. But over Yoshida or Mickey Gasper,
right.
He's a better hitter than both of those guys. As much as some people hate Tristan Casas, he's a better hitter than Yoshida. He's a better hitter than Mickey Gasper.
Yeah.
So there's some serious talent on the shelf, and it's tough to really get into why they struggle so much. The fan base is so quick to boo the players, which I understand a lot of that is just misguided anger towards ownership. They can't boo John Henry. They never see the guy. They boo Sam Kennedy every time they see him. They boo Tom Warner every time they see him, but they never see John Henry. So there's they can't boo him. So they do it to Breslow when they see him.
Right.
They do it to the players. It's not necessarily fair to the players. They're better than a lot of them have played. I really wonder. IKF kind of leaned into it a little bit and was like, there's just more distractions at home. I still don't know what he meant by that. And he did a horrible job of clarifying that the next day.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the kind of thing where, they go into the clubhouse at home and front office is the wrong word, but maybe I still think there's some dissension within the team. You've got not scouting because they got rid of a lot of scouts, but I think you've got the baseball people, you've got the driveline people, and then you've got the people that are, kind of like the holdovers from when they were good. I think there's a lot, they're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. And I think that there was 2 things I saw. Was it Henry Ortiz? They asked Ortiz about. They said, Henry's not happy with the team. He wants to win. Don't worry. He's passionate about the team. Things aren't working out. He wants to do something. And then, did you see the thing about what was the podcast that Pedroia was on recently? And
I don't know the name of it, but
Okay.
I saw some of the sound
yeah,
bites
but
that came from it. I'm not sure if I saw what you're about to say.
I didn't see him say this, but I think somebody alluded to the fact that Pedroia is like basically bullshit the way the team is playing, and he doesn't want any part of it until they clean it up because it's like if I'm there, they wouldn't be happy with what I'd have to say. Basically, I don't think he said that per se, but that's what I heard other people say online, and I, from what I know about Pedroia, that would kind of make sense because I think that he's probably not too happy with the way the team is running right now. I think he's got a pretty good barometer. He knows what he's talking about. Ortiz, I think he's more directly involved with the organization, so he's not going to throw the team under the bus, you know. But something needs to be done. I mean, I keep throwing up, Theo, images, and anytime, people want to make a change because, I mean, Henry's a money guy and he might not be happy, but he's not a baseball guy. They need a baseball guy in there. And I'm not saying, I mean, Heim did the best he could. I'm sure Breslow is trying. It's just not working.
It's definitely not a lack of effort. Like, I
No.
think that's kind of what's been lost with a lot of fans is that like Breslow, I think Breslow's in over his skates. I think if
Right.
he were the GM and there was somebody above him,
Yep.
I think he'd do very well
Yep.
in that role.
Yep.
I just think he's in over his skates. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him to figure
Right.
it out. At this point, it's a matter of can you find somebody that can be the executive, and then maybe Breslow, you don't fire him, but like remember when Brian O'Halloran got moved from the GM position when Heim got fired to some obsolete job in the front office that nobody knows exists? I don't even know if he's still with the organization. If they can do that with Breslow, because like let's be honest, the pitching infrastructure is so much better than it was under Heim.
Right.
And I know some of them, like some of the guys that have come up and pitched well, were guys that Heim brought in, like Connolly early. I know we'll get into his start eventually tonight. Wasn't very good, but overall, Connolly's been a bright spot. Hunter Dobbins was really solid last year. That's a Heim draft pick. We've got some other guys down in the minor leagues. I believe Noah Dean was a Heim draft pick. I know Hayden Mullins was a Heim draft pick. Like there are some guys. Obviously, they're flourishing more so now under Breslow, but those were guys that Heim drafted. But the pitching infrastructure is so much better. If you could get somebody that's like just knows what a good hitter is,
right,
that can pay / trade for them.
Yeah,
nice.
I hope though that they don't do the Dombrowski route and it's just like, okay, bye, go spend money, nuke the farm system, immediate gratification, and then those guys get mid to late 30s, you suck. Like you got to do something in between because you can't just throw money at the problem because it will fix like the immediate, but then it ruins you for years after. So there's got to be a middle ground, and they got to find somebody who isn't just going to write the checks because that's the easy way to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still got to hit, they still got to pan out, and then you still got to hit right. I mean, we like last season, we're like, oh, get Alonso, get Schwarber, get these guys. Like yeah, Schwarber's great, Alonso, and then Bregman hasn't done anything. So it's you can't just spend your way out, and then if you do make some bad decisions, I mean, then you're really, really screwed, So you got to do something in between. But you're right, the pitching is great. I mean, they kept Bailey because the pitching is spot on, and they've got a lot of the pitch. Their pitching is like I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but they're like the opposite of what the Red Sox were when I was a kid. They can't hit it all right now, but their pitching's great, which. It's like National League, old school, boring baseball. Like, yeah, great, you're winning 2-0, 3-1 games, but no, I want to win 10-1. I want my softball team. I want move on. I want washed up guys like Jose Canseco and Kevin Mitchell swinging from their fucking ankles. I want home runs. I was watching a highlight video yesterday, 1995 Red Sox. It was like all the times that Canseco and Move on went back to back, and I mean, yeah, he's a juicer, obviously, but I loved watching Canseco hit at Fenway. When he hit the ball, it was like watching slow pitch softball. I mean, he would wind up and just launch balls at Fenway, and it was like so. It was like eating ice cream for the first time as a kid or something. I don't know. It was just like this is just like so addictive. I could just watch this all day. It'd be like if Vladimir Guerrero Sr. ever actually played for the Red Sox. That's how awesome it would have been. Like when Ramirez was at Fenway and you're like, holy shit, he hit that ball a mile. And they just don't have guys like that now. I mean, we have Wilson Contreras, but I want 2 or 3 guys. I want the 3-hitter and the 5-hitter to be these one-dimensional right-handed sluggers. And they just don't have that.
Yeah. For sure. And before we get any further, also want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by TJ Stats, advanced MLB stats and tools, including pitcher summaries, prospect rankings, and live pitch data. Head on over to tjstats.ca, not .com, .ca, and use promo code PESKY for 25% off your first month over there. Forgot to do that before we started talking, so I had to find a way to bring that up. Not often the Red Sox win a series anymore, let alone at home. So I got excited and I jumped the gun. That's on me. That's on me. But it's nice to keep you on your toes. You never know when that ad read's coming, but it's coming at some point over the course of the episode. But I'm with you. It's frustrating because like we talk about these guys that are playing below their skill level. Like I know that people hate Duran, but he's better than the player he's been this season.
Sure.
Like even if he was last year's version of himself, this team is probably 3-4 wins better right now.
Yep.
I think Marcelo is better than the player he's been this season. I know that he wasn't necessarily great last year, but I thought he would take a little bit more of a step forward, or at least stagnate, and he's actually gotten worse than last year, which has been frustrating. Like Caleb Durbin, well below talent level, and I was a guy who was very bearish on the player when they traded for him. I did not like that trade at all. But I still think like he's better than he has been overall. I know he's kind of picked it up in recent weeks, not so much the series, but in recent weeks he's been pretty good. But like, and Roman Anthony, I know he's been mostly hurt, so it's kind of tough to really criticize the play. But like, even when he was playing, it wasn't like he was necessarily doing great. He was fine. He was below league average, but he wasn't awful.
I still don't think he was ever 100%. I still think the rib cage is an issue. And then I think that the wrist hurt him before, and I think he re-aggravated it, and they finally said, okay, let's be smart as the training staff of the Red Sox can possibly be. Because, I mean, so what's the deal now with him? We just wait? No surgery, just wait it out, right? Is that what's going on with Anthony?
Yeah, I think they need to just grow up and announce that he's getting a hand surgery. Like at this point, I feel like the season's somewhat lost, and if like you're not getting him back probably till late July, early August anyway.
Right. Yeah. And then like, what's the deal with Casas? Same thing.
Well, there was a report that came out that he was like maybe gonna swing last week or 2 weeks ago, and then like there was just no follow up on that. I don't remember seeing anything that came out of that situation. I think our best bet might be to just DM him on Instagram. Maybe he doesn't answer any of like people won't answer a DM from a guy. Maybe I'll have like Bailey reach out to him and see if we have any better. If we have better.
Well, luck. I mean, we friend of the program, Hunter. I mean, everyone loves him, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Hunter. We'll have Hunter DM him. I mean, I've been waiting for him to be down in Worcester, but I don't even know where he's at right now as far as rehab goes.
But I mean, all jokes aside, Jordan, a healthy Tristan and healthy Roman, that could be something.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking Yoshida and Mickey Gasper out of the lineup, and like,
that's got to be an upgrade. That's got to be like as much as they like Mickey Gasper leading off, and they think he's a spark plug on the offense, and Yoshida's a fantastic person, but I mean, talent wise, I don't think either one of those guys has ever been in the same universe as Anthony and Casas. Now, Casas it's been a while. But I mean, a healthy Anthony and a healthy Casas, that's that 2.5 runs a game to 4.5 runs a game. And maybe that's all this team needs with the pitching they have. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, think of all the games they've lost so far this year. They're like 3-1.
Right.
Just having one more bat in the lineup. And another guy that I failed to mention before, like, as bad as Trevor Story was, even if he wasn't last year's version of himself, he was playing way below his own talent level as well. And I'm sure part of that had to do.
It compounds, though. It's him and then Romy Gonzalez, too. You add those 4 guys healthy to this team. I'm not saying they're over 500, but they're not 29-40.
Yeah, definitely. They're probably closer to like 34 and 36.
Which, if that was the case, they'd be what?
Or
2 games out of the wild card?
Actually, if they were 34, if they had 34 wins, they'd be 34 and 35, which would actually be what the Rangers are right now. So the Red Sox would be tied for the 3rd wild card spot.
So that's why maybe the edibles are hitting. I don't know, but I mean, like they're in it. Like it just if they get a little bit of help, like the league is so bad this year. It's so bad. And then like, what's the deal with Judge? How many is he still out?
Yeah, he's out for like at least another 3 to 4 weeks. So
okay, so like here's your time, man. Make your run. Do something. Like, you take the stick and you're poking at it. You just do something. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely tough. And they also have a minus. I mean, they have they're third in the AL East in run differential right now at -4. Which is crazy. And they're only 12 runs behind the Rays for second in the division in run
Yep.
differential.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Like their expected win-loss, again, like that really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Their expected win-loss is 34-35, which is the exact record I just mentioned if they got like one more bat in the lineup that could actually produce in the heart of the order.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the realm of
IKF in the 5 spot.
Right. You're in the realm of possibility. It's I don't know. I don't know what's going to have to happen, but if you can see it, I can see it. These other guys doing podcasts can see it. They're going to see it too. And I mean, as much as they want to be the smartest guy in the room, winning makes everything better. It makes money for everybody. That's why they do it. Something's going to give.
Yeah, and they'll either bottom out eventually on the road and they'll just be what their record is, or they will pick it up at home and they'll probably... I mean, the frustrating thing, and maybe frustrating is the wrong word because now there's a lottery system for the draft,
Right.
is they are 100% going to find a way to win like 79 games. Like they will fuck around in August and win like 15 of 19, and we're
Sure.
like, where was this in May, dude? Like
Yep.
where was this back in May? And then they'll end up being like 79 and 83. I mean, that was pretty much what happened in 15, right? They went, I think, 78 and 84. They went like crazy after Torey Lovello took over as manager and almost messed around and like snuck into the playoffs until like they struggled the last few weeks of the season. But like you said, something's got to give eventually. Like, again, good teams aren't bad at home. Bad teams aren't good on the road, but obviously no good team ever is 11 games under 500 through almost 70 games. Something will give. Red Sox win game 1, 10-1. So I guess we should move on to game 2, which was also a fun game for the Boston Red Sox. They won that one as well behind an okay, but overall solid pitching performance from Ranger Suarez, who it's just nice to watch him pitch. He's such a breath of fresh air. Like, even his bad starts are pretty good. Like these kinds of starts I actually love, because everybody when they're on looks amazing. Everybody when they're off looks like shit. But what do you look like when you're like got your C+ stuff? 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 7 Ks. I think he had like 11 whiffs and 5 were on the cutter. He's a breath of fresh air. His ERA is at 3.21 right now. He's been everything the Red Sox could have hoped for and more. What are your thoughts on Ranger Suarez in game 2?
Yeah, even when he doesn't have it, he has it. And, he can get enough. He can get you 5 innings. He can hold you under 3 runs or less. With a good offense, that's not a problem. With the Red Sox, it's questionable. But he's doing his job. He's the guy that we signed. He's the guy that is getting the job done. And I think with, Whitlock back now, I think that's a big help, but in this game too, they were getting some big hits. They weren't leaving guys on base. They scored 6 runs, so it just, okay, a 10-1 game, a 6-3 game. They have it in them. They can do it.
Yeah. So they're allergic to momentum.
Well, that's the thing, but hey, 2 out of 3, you won 66% of the games you play. They'd have a hell of a lot better record. And, Texas is one of the better teams in a shit league right now.
Yeah, that they are. It's like at a certain point, you got to go on something of a run.
Yeah.
Like you can't just.
They will. They'll get hot. Like, I think like July or at some point they'll get hot. And then something stupid's going to happen. But I mean, is Crochet, when healthy, one of the top 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball? Yeah, you can add him to this team. Problem is, they don't need pitching right now.
Yeah, that's the catch-22.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, it really comes down to offense. I really think Gonzalez is going to come back and go off, and they're going to put him in the lineup and ride him until he's hot or something. They need some right-handed power bats. We've been waiting a while. Abreu is, had some decent games last couple of games, but I thought he'd be, lead the team in home runs right now going into the season. He had the, he would just like the WBC and everything. I thought he'd be off, but he just hasn't been consistent enough. I think Rafaela, I think I wouldn't say underrated, but he's having a sneaky, really good season. Really, really good season. He's swinging from his heels when he's, ahead in the count, but when he's behind the count, he's shortening his stroke, he's cutting down on his strikeouts a little bit. The defense is still there. He's one of their best players. And what is he hitting now? Like almost 285, 290?
He's 286 right now after tonight.
You know what? Remember when we were like, hey, if Jackie Bradley could ever do that, he'd be playing for 20 years,
Yeah.
But
if Jackie Bradley was a 290 hitter, he might be on Hall of Fame watch right now.
He'd still be playing right now. Yeah,
he'd still be playing. He's only in his mid-30s.
But defensively, Rafaela was. People love what Betts did, and they love Bradley, but I really like Rafaela because he's got. I don't know. He was like the poor man's version of Betts. He's never going to be as good as Betts. I don't think anyone's ever going to say he's as good as Betts. But defensively, I love watching him play center field. And if you got him in center field, you don't have to worry about center field for the next 5-8 years, and you get signed him to a decent contract. So it's nice to see the bats come around, and I think the head has matured a little bit, and that's why you're seeing him hit close to 300.
It's crazy that after like the first month of the season, his defensive metrics were fairly bad, and people were like, "Oh my God, this dude has forgotten how to defend," and now he's at 10 outs above average.
Well, in that first month, he had that one ball hit over his head, and it fucked him so much because what it did was like a catch probability of like 95%, and he dropped it because it was just over his head.
Yeah, and there were a couple sun balls early in the season too.
Come on,
that happens. It's stuff that happens to everybody. It's just
he still has a great arm. His range is unbelievable.
His route running is ridiculous. His jump on the ball is ridiculous. Like he has great closing speed on the ball. Like everything. Like I don't know. Like I don't want this to sound like Jackie Bradley Jr. disrespect, but like Cedar Rafaela is the best center fielder I have ever watched with my own two eyes. I watched Jackie and I watched Sadon and I'm like, I don't think like some of these plays that he makes, man, like Jackie had a like a certain like poise about him where like everything looked so routine, and Sadon doesn't necessarily have that part of his game locked in. Like some plays look more difficult than they probably need to be.
Right.
But like his ability to just get to virtually anything within like 100-foot radius, unless it's absolutely pissed on, is absurd. Like Jackie just didn't make any mistakes out there, and his arm made up for a whole lot because he had a cannon and it was super accurate. Like his arm was better than Sadon's, but defensively, tracking down a fly ball, I don't think Cedar Rafaela. I think Cedar Rafaela is in a class of his own.
Oh yeah, I think when Jackie came back for the second time and they had him in right field, he was really able to showcase his arm. In center, he did a little bit, but when they put him in right field, that was a lot of fun to watch. Jackie would make through the hard plays, but it was more positioning and kind of like his head was in the game. Like I remember everybody thought Bernie Williams was like a great defensive player because he made all these sliding catches. I'm like, no, he's so out of position that he has to haul ass in the last minute to catch a ball. And that's why it looks like he's making all these amazing plays where you looked at a guy like JD Drew, you're like, wow, he really never has to slide for a ball. It's like because he knows where to be positioning wise. Now, with the advanced metrics, every guy takes his hat off before every pitch and they know like where the guy hits the ball 75% of the time. So it's a little different now. But the range that Rafaela has, he probably leads the league in range, I imagine, right? Or that's the stat they track, right?
I can check that for you. I
bet you he's in the neighborhood. Yeah.
When you brought up Bernie Williams, the Yankees had two guys at the same time that were like that because Hideki Matsui in left field was basically the same thing. He also really struggled with
right.
I guess you can't track range.
Really? Okay.
Well, it says there's range runs, but there's nobody has any. I don't know if they're not tracking them yet this season. I have no idea. But I would wager to guess. Outs above average is considered a range-based metric.
Sure.
And Sadon's at +10, which is I can give you the actual percentile ranking. So he's probably not top in the league because I think PCA is, but he's 99th percentile in range.
That's pretty good. Average. If you get a 99% on a test, I think you're doing it right.
Yeah, and his arm strength is 93rd percentile. Now his arm value is 38th percentile. He's uncorked a few wild ones here and there, which is which is tough. But he's again, it comes with the territory of having a bazooka for an arm. We see it with Willie from
Yeah,
time to time.
yeah.
We've seen it at times with Jackie over the years. We've seen it. We saw it with Hunter Renfroe a ton in 2021. He
Yeah. Oh
drove
yeah.
me nuts with how unhinged his arm could get. But
But I
yeah,
mean,
he's a
it's
beast
funny.
out there.
We're talking about defense, Jordan, and it's another one of those things. I hate to be like a fundamental baseball, like, okay, it's important, like high school guy, coach, whatever you want to talk. But their defense this year, I bet you, is probably pretty good. Their outfield defense is probably some of the best in Major League Baseball. But they're not doing enough to win games. They get great pitching and great defense. And what's it getting them?
Yeah, they overcorrected.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I mean, they're first in the league in and defensive runs saved among outfielders. They're second in outs above average behind only the Cubs, and that's
Yep.
because PCA I think is 100th percentile for outs above average. They're only one behind Chicago for outs above average for outfielders. So I think that's literally the difference between PCA and Sadon.
Right.
But yeah, they overcorrected. That was the big issue was like and that was the frustrating thing about what like Craig Breslow was talking about needing this offseason from a position player standpoint was we need a guy who can hit for power, doesn't strike out, and can defend. Well, you described Alex Bregman.
But did you though? So
Maybe
honestly,
not this
but,
year.
like
Maybe
right
not this
now.
year,
But
but the player that they had last year.
if they had signed Bregman in a vacuum, they don't bring in Durbin. But if you take Alex Bregman Cubs stats and put him at third base right now, are we any better?
I'd still say yes. I mean, overall,
But by how much?
It's tough. It's tough to tell. It's difficult. I kind of hate that like just take the
Oh, I
guy's
know.
numbers and
Oh,
throw
I
him
know.
in your lineup because it changed like him being a Red Sox, him playing at Fenway versus Wrigley. That's like so different. Like it's just like even Raffy, because Raffy's swing was pretty tailored to Fenway because he drives the ball to left center field a lot. So like I'm sure that the regression would have been it's real. Like it's not like he's not the same hitter he was last year. He's not the same hitter he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right.
But if you put Raffy Devers in this lineup, his numbers are better because his swing was made for Fenway Park. He had no problem going the other way, and that was huge for Fenway Park. The Red Sox still have a bunch of lefties that don't like driving the ball to left field, which is incredibly frustrating. And if you put Bregman in this Red Sox lineup, I firmly believe that he is probably at the very worst right around where he finished last season from the stat standpoint. I mean, this year he's counting tonight, he's slashing 250, 334, 356. That's not good. It's a 98 WRC plus. That's 30 points or 40 points higher than Caleb Durbin is right now. And I think if we're talking specifically, I don't think you lose enough defensively for that 40-point gap on offense to not matter. And you're having Bregman in the heart of your order, whereas you have Durbin in the 6 or 7 spot. And it just really it completes the lineup a bit because we're talking an opening day lineup. If you have Bregman of Roman, or I think Roman led off on opening day.
Yep.
Roman, then you have I think Durant hit second, and then Bregman, Abreu, Contreras. That's your 1 through 5, and maybe you flip it and Bregman hits 5th and Contreras hits 3rd. Whatever, but that's your 1 through 5. That is a far more potent lineup, and I know that Roman's hurt, so it kind of doesn't matter anymore. But that's a far more potent lineup than your 5 hitter being Cedar Rafaela as good as he's been, or Caleb Durbin as good as he's been lately. Like I would just much rather have Bregman in that spot. But to your point, you throw him in their lineup instead of Durbin. There may be 2 or 3 wins better overall, but that's a lot in this American League. 2 or 3 wins is a lot. I mean, you said that they're 5 games back right now of the last wild card. I mean, we're talking 2 games back at still 8 games under 5, or it would be math. It'd be 5 games under 500.
Right. Yeah. I know you because you've got the stats in front of you. Is Wrigley Field like one of the worst parks for a right-handed hitter, like pull hitter? Is it that bad, or is it Bregman in general, or like what's going on?
Well, it's crazy because like Sammy Sosa destroyed Wrigley Field. So I don't know. I mean, I know they like renovated the outfield or the bleachers in the outfield. I don't know if that changed anything as far as like wind tunnels and shit. I have no idea. But like we saw it with Isak Paredes when the Rays traded him to the Cubs. He sucked for the Cubs, and he is as dead pull as it gets. I think I saw his spray chart. He has never hit a home run anywhere but left field. Like he hasn't even like challenged center. I don't think he's ever hit one to left center. It's just like straight down the line, and that's it. That's his home run chart for his career. some guys just don't fit in that certain ballpark. Bregman's contact overall has been worse this year with the Cubs than it was last year with Boston. But like again, like Justin Turner's quality of contact when he was here wasn't particularly good. But you know what that guy did? Raked at Fenway Park.
Oh yeah.
And like it's just certain guys are like I think like the Red Sox didn't make the best offer to Alex Bregman. He was well within his right to take the best offer available. He's earned that through his career. Every player that hits free agency has earned the right to take the best offer.
Yeah.
He assassinated his Hall of Fame chances by going to the Chicago Cubs.
Well, so my question for you is, okay, so let's say he has the no trade clause, right? And the Red Sox don't offer it. Do you think the Red Sox would actually trade him though?
Hard to tell.
Maybe,
But
right? It's a
I'd say
maybe. It's not a
maybe. I mean,
definite.
after you see Devers get traded, I feel kind of
Oh
hard.
yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to say that the Red Sox wouldn't trade another high-priced player. Like I've been floating the idea of trading Ranger Suarez at the deadline if a team's willing to get silly, because you know the front half of that deal is the front half is a front-loaded contract. The last 3 years are 30+ mil, but that can be somebody else's problem if
Right.
you feel like you might need to tear it down, again. So I don't think that it's tough. I
Yeah.
don't think they would have traded Bregman because I think they kind of preferred Bregman to Devers maybe all along. But I can't say that they would have kept him, at least not
Yeah.
the full 5 or 6 years that they were willing to give him on paper. Because he is still in his mid-30s. They may have tried to run away from that by like 2028.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, I know it's hard to revisionist history. If they keep him, do things change? If Devers just played first base, would things have been different? Or if Casas was healthy? I mean, there's so many factors there, and then everybody's like, well, then you'd have Kyle Harrison, and it's like, but they don't need any more pitching. It's like,
There's so much Monday morning quarterback going
oh
on
yeah,
right now, and I'm very guilty of it too.
the same thing I am. Yeah.
Like playing the hindsight game with the Ketel Marte stuff in the offseason, where if you traded Marcelo and Connolly early, you still have Kyle Harrison and you have Ketel Marte playing second base. Now you
Yeah.
don't know
Well,
if Kyle Harrison figures it out here.
but that's another thing. I know Bregman's had a rough year. Hasn't Marte but not been doing much either?
He started pretty slow. I know that he had really heated up
Oh, he did.
for a bit. Where is he at now? He's only slightly above average overall this season, but I know that started very, very, very bad. Let me see. Since April 4th, since April 5th, this is entering play tonight. 265, 311, 470 is his slash. That's over 254 plate appearances. He did have a couple of hits tonight too, so it would be a little bit better.
And is Devers back on track? Because I know he sucked and then he was really, really hot. Is he cooled off again?
Yeah, he's cooled off mightily in the month of June. He did have a hit and a walk tonight. He's currently at an OPS of, can I do the math? 706.
Okay. I mean, do you think, are we making a big deal about how, the guys that the Red Sox were going to bring back or got rid of haven't been doing well? Or do you think it's just offense in general is just down in Major League Baseball?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at the league overall.
Yeah.
Yet.
So if you look at the numbers, though, I mean, I think who's the guy? Was it Lopez or something? Who's the guy in the Marlins who leads the league in hitting?
Give me 1 sec. I'll let you know. It is
Otto Lopez or somebody.
Otto Lopez. He's hitting 345.
Who the fuck is Otto Lopez?
He's got a 17-point lead on Jung-Hoo Lee for the lead, and
who's a
Brandon
household
Marsh.
name. Yeah,
and Brandon Marsh. Known. Perennial all-star.
And then who's the guy? I think he's a catcher or something. For is the A's or something, or no? There's some rando who's got no. Maybe
are you thinking of Rocky's first baseman Troy Johnston, who's just casually got a 371 on base?
There's some dude who's got he's third or fourth in Major League Baseball in RBIs, but he's got 8 home runs or something crazy.
Oh, is that Liam Hicks?
Maybe
he's the catcher for the Marlins. He's
got that guy. I'm like, who the fuck is Liam Hicks?
I mean, the RBI leaderboard. Let me give you the top 10.
Oh, it's nuts.
Let me filter it to include tonight to see if anything changed on that front. But if you entered the league, if you came into 2000 and 26.
Yeah.
And I told you, like, I'm looking at these names. Only one of these guys should be, or two of these guys should be here. Leading the league. Actually, no, let's go 10-1. Let's have some build up here.
Right.
Number 10, Dylan Dingler. Number 9, Liam Hicks. Tied with sorry, I guess Liam Hicks is technically 7th. He's in a tie with two other guys. Alec Burleson, also with 51 runs batted in, and Matt Olson. Sorry, I lied. 3 guys should be on this list. Nick
Okay,
Kurtz
Olson, I've heard of him.
Yeah, Matt Olson being in there is not surprising. Nick Kurtz is also in the top 10. That's not surprising. He's got 52 runs batted in. Christian Walker, who was awful last year, is tied with him for 5th in the majors. 4th, CJ Abrams of the Washington Nationals, who have like the number 2 offense in the sport. Then Jordan, that's normal. Jordan Walker having a fantastic season, tied for the league lead. That's not necessarily shocking if you were a believer in his talent. Like, you figure at some point that was going to click, and it has. He has gone off this year, and also tied for the team lead. Drum roll, Andy Pajes of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's the guy. Yeah.
League leader in runs batted in, Andy Pajes, the guy who went like 3 for 40 in the playoffs last year. That guy.
But like, where's Judge? Where's Alonso? Where's like? There's a lot of names that are missing from that list.
To be fair, Alonso's 11th. He's at 48. Okay. He has picked it up lately. He has actually turned his season around. He's having a pretty solid year.
But I mean, how long has Judge been hurt for?
A couple of weeks at this point.
So, but he should be in the
neighborhood before the Sox went there. So actually,
he should be in the neighborhood, right?
Where is this guy? I don't even see Aaron. Is he not on here because does he not qualify because he's been hurt? Give me 1 sec. Let me filter this down to 150 plate appearances. Let me see if Judge sneaks in now. Give me a sec. Aaron Judge, if you filter down to 150 plate appearances, Aaron Judge is still outside the top 30.
Wow.
Where is this man? How many runs batted does Aaron Judge have this year?
Not enough.
Where is this dude? I just saw Andrew Benintendi, and I haven't seen Aaron Judge yet. No, I'm getting trolled right now. There's no way. No, hold on. I just gotta look at his page. How many RBIs does Aaron Judge have? He's got 38. So he's got 6 more than Andrew Benintendi. Okay. How did I miss
But just like, I remember a couple of years ago when you probably weren't a degenerate like I was, but I was watching Japanese baseball highlights because I wanted to see Yamamoto because I had the fucking heroin pipe dream that, the Red Sox were like in the running. And I looked at like the offensive stats for the Japanese league, and every pitcher was like amazing. And I'm like, why is that? Because offense was down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what's happening right now. Like you're never gonna like, if guys are doing what they're doing now, no one's ever gonna hit 500 home runs. No one's ever gonna have 3,000 hits. No one's, it's just offense is just down in general.
Yeah, let me see where we're at right now for league OPS. I think you can filter back in Fangraphs to like 2002. So let me see if I can see where we're at for OPS as a league. Well, while that loads.
Yeah.
We can move forward.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you see certain guys pitching and you're like, how on earth is anybody supposed to hit that? Like Jacob Mizorowski.
Oh my God!
132 ERA. He's like throwing 105 mile/hour bullets.
I'm late on the hype with him because I don't watch all the teams, but I saw his last start and I was like, oh my God, he's amazing.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
Like, how does anybody hit him ever?
I don't know, but you know what I noticed too, and I don't know. Did you pick up on this? He calls his own pitches.
I did not, because I've only watched a couple of his starts this year, not super closely, and I was at Fenway for his start at Fenway, so I wasn't paying it.
I don't know if he always does it, but like I saw him and he does that thing. Did you see the thing with Lopez in the documentary with Maddox, where he's like, he picks his nose if he's going to throw a curveball. He catches the ball in front of his face if it's a fastball. He catches it underhand if it's like how he gets the ball from the catcher is how he calls the game.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's really, really cool because everybody's like, oh, wow, you guys have like your own language. It's like, no, he just called his own pitches. So it was just kind of funny. But yeah, and then like, the manager will look at him to take him out, and he looks at him and tells the manager, no, don't come out. I'm like, that's ballsy, man. That's like some 12-year-old little league, like my dad is the coach type stuff. Like, it's like, oh my God, like, it's like, don't even think of coming out here.
God, my Fangraphs is still not loading. Oh, there we go. Finally. We finally got it. Give me 1 sec and finally
Okay.
tell you where we rank for OPS in 2026. So, this is entering play tonight. This is since 2000. This year we are 2026 is 23rd out of 27 seasons since
Yeah,
the
so
turn of the
offense just
millennium.
sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong, pitching is probably good. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's a combination of the CBA, no methamphetamines, stricter drug testing, and then just hypervelocity. I mean, what does Mizrowski throw? Did he throw 104 miles an
He
hour
had 105 yesterday
as a starter? Like,
as
I
a
mean,
starter, and I'm
I've
pretty sure
seen,
it was in like the third inning too.
yeah,
So it's not even like it was his first pitch of the game, and he just lets it eat on the first one.
right. I always
He
thought the
just spit to
fastest pitch was
101.
Chapman years ago. He threw like 106 or something, but that's a
Yeah, I think
relief pitcher.
Chappie still holds the
Yeah.
record, but like Mizorowski is
And
like
then,
pantsing.
did you ever
to
see
where
that video where it was like Michael Kopech was just like warming up, or they like just throw it as hard as you can? He threw it like over 100 once. Like it was like
Yeah.
105. It was just kind of like against like a backdrop, like in like a gym somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's got now. How long do you think he can do that for, though? I mean, if he threw only 100, he'd still be okay, right?
Yeah, I mean probably, but
Yeah.
I mean it's tough because it's like I feel like some of the pitcher injuries we see are kind of
Well,
a consequence of chasing velocity, but like if you have an
speaking of
opportunity to be
pitching,
even more unhittable.
speaking of pitching injuries, I know you're a little removed from this, but I know you're closer in age to these guys than I am. But did you see the Catholic Memorial game with Bishop Fian?
I did not.
So basically, Bamila was pitching, and he was, doing great. And then they pulled him out after 2 innings in the championship game. And
Dang.
it was like, I know the draft is soon, but that's a little weird. And they pull him out, and it's a close game, I think, until like the fourth or fifth inning. And then CM went off, and they scored like 7 runs in an inning, and they ended up winning 11-3 or something, or whatever the hell the score was. But like everybody thought, but with Bamila pitching that game, they would have been fine. He's like, I guess after the game, he said he was having dead arm, but I mean, his dead arm is still 85. Because he throws like 100 in high school. Which I mean, you played some competitive baseball at that in high school, and I mean, if you ever saw 100, if I saw 100, I'd shit my pants. I mean,
No, I saw a handful of 90s.
Yeah.
Never as a hitter, but I bared witness to a handful of 90-mile-an-hour heaters when I was in high school.
Right.
100 is absurd, and I'm not that far removed. I mean, I did get the Facebook memory the other day that I graduated high school 8 years ago.
Ooh.
But like, well, that's not that long ago.
No.
And like the fact that we've gone from like and this kid's from Mass.
Yeah.
Like we've gone from a handful of 90s to this one kid that's just chucking 100.
100.
It's ridiculous. In high school.
He's throwing 100, Jordan, after having Tommy John surgery 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So but I mean, if he's throwing 100 in high school, does he throw harder? I don't know what Miz was throwing when he was in high school, but I know they said Connor Larry was throwing like 83, 84 in high school, and then when he went to Army, he broke 90, and then when he transferred portal, he hit 95 for the first time, and I think he's thrown up to 97 this year, right?
I think so. But like Cam Schlittler was throwing 89, and that's why he was like a ninth round pick by the Yankees, and now he's throwing 100. So it's just, I mean, a lot of it is about the pitching science and like the biomechanics and all those fun buzzwords that everybody loves to hear on Twitter, especially.
That's right.
But like Peyton Tolley wasn't like a flamethrower in college. I think he was like 92 to 94 with maybe a top at 95, 96, but he was not a dude who sat 97. I can tell you that much when he was at TCU, because if he sat 97, he probably would have been a top 5 pick, because that dude is built like a brick shit house and throws darts.
100 is the new 95 basically, or vice versa. I mean, when I remember when a guy threw 95, that was fast.
Yeah.
It was like, and I remember, was it 1999, I want to say, when the Red Sox were playing, it was 99 or 98. I think it was 99. I can't remember, but Bartolo Colon was on the Indians, and he threw one pitch at 105, and even the guys in Fox were like, yeah, they turned that gun up about 8 miles an hour. There's no way. Like, he just doesn't throw that hard. This is not possible, So.
Yeah, it's wild to see how much the game has grown from that standpoint. I mean, like Keith Folk used to throw like 85 as the Red Sox closer. Like maybe he'd get up to like 88, 89 on a fastball, especially towards the end of the playoffs. He was throwing like 82. That guy was throwing pus out there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
A dude comes
Well,
out with an 82 mile an hour heater right now. What we call him? We call him a knuckleballer.
well, even Koji, I mean, his fastball was what, 88 maybe.
Yeah, he did not throw. He did not throw hard, but that splitter was ridiculous.
Oh, he couldn't hit it. Well, I remember when I was a kid, they had a movie, Brewster's Millions, with Richard Pryor, and he basically he inherits $50 million, and he has to spend it within a week. And if he does, he gets 500 million, but he can't tell anybody. So he does ridiculous things, and the first thing he does is pay the Yankees $1 million to play against them. So like it's like City League team. So the first pitch of the game, he throws a fastball. And the guy from the Yankees goes, "Why do you throw a changeup on the first pitch?" And then John Candy's catcher, he's like, "That's his fastball." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Have you seen Major League Back to the Minors? That
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen all those.
They went one movie too far with that. But when they bring in that guy and he's like, "You want me to throw him the off speed stuff?" He's like, "You got anything else?" He's like, "Nope." He's like, "Let's throw the off speed stuff."
Well, that was the guy the Red Sox brought in tonight. Tommy, whatever the hell his last name is, Kelly.
Canley?
Yeah, all he throws are changeups.
Yeah, he does have 94 in the tank. It's just, by the way,
The
that guy has
fastball is the
aged so
changeup.
much. That guy's aged so much since he pitched for Israel in the WBC. Like Worcester aged that man like milk. He
As Worcester will.
Worcester does that to a motherfucker. I had no
He
idea.
does. Yeah.
But yeah, Red Sox win game 2 6-3. We should get into this one because I know that we had talked about making this a fairly quick episode because of
we're under an hour right now. We're doing all right.
We are under an hour, but I want to try and keep it to like under an hour 15, and we still have to preview the next series.
We're moving along.
But yeah, that brings us to game 3. It's a nice segue because Tommy Canley pitched tonight.
Yep.
But so did Conley early. He started the game. He sucked.
He
was really bad.
Yep.
4 2/3. After when the night ended, he had gone 4 2/3, which was a miracle because he gave up 2 hits to start the 5th inning and then got 2 outs. 4 2/3, 11 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, just 3 strikeouts. Gave up 2 home runs in the first 3 innings of the game. First pitch of the game, Wyatt Langford ambushed him for a homer. Second game in a row, the first pitch Conley early throws leaves the ballpark.
Right.
And then Kyle Higashioka hit a 3-run shot off of him in the third. The Red Sox did claw their way. In the second inning, claw their way back with 2 runs in the bottom of the second. Then Conley gave up 2 more in the fourth, and at that point, the lead was just too great for the Sox to come back from. Despite their best efforts, they did get a couple more runs back. Yeah. They threatened in the 8th inning. Jacob Latz is a stud. It is what it is. Like sometimes you just run into, you already won the series. I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. But
as Jack said, they already won the series, so it's safe to go to the game.
Yeah, and he was very wrong. We got to ban Jack.
Yep.
Jack, I did tell him I was going to bully him relentlessly on this episode. I'm not going to do that. I'm feeling nice.
Okay.
I'm feeling nice, but yeah, we got to ban him. They're 0-6 when he goes now?
Something like that. Yeah, he's going next Wednesday. He said he already bought tickets.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Oh.
So we already know we cannot predict a sweep for this series because Jack's going Wednesday.
Yeah.
And if he starts 0-7, he needs to just take he needs to take a sabbatical. Maybe we just boot him. Just get him out of here. He has become the new Liam Fennessy. It's quite impressive. I didn't think anybody would rival Liam, but Jack is in some very pristine company. I have been to 11 games this year, and I have seen fewer losses than Jack has.
Wow.
Actually, it's a lie. I've been to 12, and I think we're tied for losses. I'd have to double check that. Not 100% certain. I think I'm 6-5.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to double check. But he's still seen 6 losses, 6 goes. That a boy, Jack. Let's make it 7 on Wednesday, my friend. But I do want to ask you: are you concerned at all about Conley early? I know his ERA's been generally pretty good.
I think that he might be hitting the wall. I mean, I think a few people were surprised that he made the team. Because of roster manipulation and control. And then when he did make the team, it's like, well, wait a minute. And then for quite a while, he was doing very, very well. He was getting deep into games. He was throwing some 2-seamers, and getting deep into games. This is kind of uncharted territory for him right now. Maybe they skip him a start or give him a little time, I mean, his velocity does dip when he gets into games. He's still a young guy too. You got to take care of him because he's a great pitcher. Don't mess his arm up. Don't burn him out. Don't overuse him. But it'd be nice if Bayo was pitching good. It wouldn't be as big of a deal. But they still have way more pitching depth than they had the last couple of years. So if we're complaining about how he's pitching right now, that's a good thing because then you have Crochet coming back. You got some of these guys coming back. Like they can sustain him not pitching how he did earlier in the season. But what you can't have is him bad and Suarez bad and totally bad. I don't think you're ever going to have that.
Yeah, some people I've seen some takes about Connolly that I think have gotten a little out of hand. It's just like I don't know. He's a rookie going through some growing pains at the big league level. It happens. It happens to everybody. We saw it last year. I mean, Tolley had a dominant debut, and then he looked like he didn't even belong in pro baseball after that last year until they put him in the bullpen. Then he kind of settled things down.
He's so much better than he was last year, Tolley. Like I did not think he was going to take this much of a jump compared to last year. I mean, last year it was that first start was like electric, and then the end result, you're like, okay, he did okay. But this year, he's been amazing. And I hate to say it, but, big fat dudes make good pitchers. Skinny dudes, they might be good pitchers, but they don't have it late in games. Like Bartolo Colon was a unit, man. He could just go. Skinny CC Sabathia sucked. Fat CC Sabathia, he was the man. You got to be fat. You got to be a unit. You got to have a big ass if you want to be a pitcher in Major League Baseball. And as much as we're shitting on the Red Sox for their offensive woes, they pick some fucking big dudes like the Witherspoons and the Phillipses and these guys. I mean, they are taking up 2.5 seats when they go to like a Patriots game, and that's what you want. You want some big asses. You want some but those guys are the ones that get it done. Tolley, I mean. You see Tolley, somebody said, "Oh, you look familiar." And he's like, "Yeah, I played for the Bruins." The guy's like, "Yeah, that's where I know you from." Because it's believable if you look at him. He's got the Magnum PI mustache, and he's just a goofball. But those guys are just, you give them a ball, and they'll shove. And they don't get tired. They just get hit,
Yeah. Tolley's one of the funniest dudes on the planet, man.
I love that guy. He's so such a breath of fresh air for this team. I think he totally, lightens the load just, emotionally for the team. A guy like Duran, so stressed out and so tense, totally comes into a room and, I mean, he probably just says something ridiculous and they just all bust out laughing and then everybody
how
just
on
feels
earth
better.
can you possibly even be serious around Peyton Tolley? Like I don't know
You
how
can't.
you can be in his
But
presence
when he
and,
strikes
have
a guy
serious-
out though, and he comes off the mound and he's electric, it's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice because we've seen over the years some of these guys like Pedro was always intense on game day on days he started, but like when he was not pitching, that dude was a goofball. We've seen the video many times of him being duct taped to a pole in the dugout.
Yeah, he dressed up like Yoda. I mean, he had the Yoda mask on once.
Yeah, what a bizarre cat Pedro Martinez was, and what a bizarre cat Peyton Tolley is currently. It's just he's a beauty.
You need guys like that, but like getting back to Tolley there, it's such a breath of fresh air. I think going into the season, people thought that Connolly was the better pitcher. Like more crafty.
I'm guilty of that.
But you know what though? I think he still has the potential to be. I think that maybe his margin for error because he doesn't have that over dominant pitch. I mean, people, you like. I hate to keep bringing it up, but I know you've got the metrics and you bring stuff up. You can look it up on your computer, but the extension that Tolley has and how he throws, if he's throwing 97, it's like well over 100 because of where he's releasing the ball. It's just a very hard pitch to hit, and it's an easy pitch to replicate. Connolly's issues tonight was his control was all over the place.
Yeah, and that's been kind of his issue a lot of this season. I feel like he finds himself behind in counts pretty early on in games, and then he has to like basically lay in a cookie
right
at a certain point just to get back into the count.
Yep.
And like the cat's out of the bag with him on that. Like now people are prepared for him to start to miss a couple pitches early. Then they can kind of zone in on it. I don't remember who the guy in the booth with Benetti and Lou Merlone was tonight, but he had mentioned like zoning him up a little bit. Like, if he's down 2-0, he's coming in with a fastball because he needs to get back into the count, and guys are ambushing him. Guys like Higashioka, guys like Brandon Nimmo.
And that's advanced scouting. I mean, it's it's a league of adjustments. And I think, the first couple of months, guys get hot, and then all of a sudden, oh, gee, the guy doesn't have it anymore. It's like, no, now there's a book on them.
Yeah.
I mean, guys watch video, guys watch tendencies. I mean, the smart players are in the on deck circle and they watch the guy in front of him. After 9 guys through the lineup, you're like, hey, what did he throw you? What did he do here? How did he do that? What's his best pitch? I don't think it's like savant level stuff where like you're Manny Ramirez and you're swinging at pitches like in the 5th inning and you're setting the pitcher up for like the next at bat because you know that he thinks he can get you out, and then you realize that, oh shit, you can't. But I mean, I think that the league knows about Arlie now, and they're adjusting to him and what he needs to do, and what Bailey needs to do is they need to adjust again.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I don't know how they do it. It's probably just going to be a matter of figuring it out at the MLB level, because you can only option so many guys. Like that can't be the solution for everybody. Like you send down Connolly early right now. I'm not, and not to put words in your mouth. That's not what you were saying to do at all. But you send Connolly early down now. Your options to replace him, because you can't call it Bayo yet. He just got sent down, and like he's got at least 15 days unless somebody gets shelved.
Yeah.
So Bayo's out. So that leaves Tyler Uberstein, who I think is fine. I don't think he'll give you more than Connolly early can give you. You got Uberstein, you got Eduardo Rivera, who's made 2 starts in AAA. One was 2/3 of an inning, one was 2 innings. So like it's not like he's really starting down there.
Right.
And then you've got I think that's it. Patrick Sandoval's on rehab. He's going to throw 45 pitches in his next rehab start. So there's that. But I don't think
Bennett up with the Red Sox right now?
Yeah, Bennett was the replacement for Bayo. So Bennett's starting on Wednesday.
Oh, there you go, Jack. All right, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Jack. You worried about 41-year-old Max Scherzer. You're getting rookie Jake Bennett against Vlad Jr. Good luck.
What's the deal? What's the deal with Guerrero this year? He sucks, huh?
I know, he just completely lost all of his pop. I mean, that's something he's dealt with in his career. Like he'll
I remember a couple of years ago where he just wasn't hitting at all, and then last year he had it again.
Yeah, and then that's happened to him twice now, because in 21 he hit like 48 home runs, and then the next year I know he hit 30, but it was like 30, and that was it for extra base hits. He had like 25 doubles or something like that. But his power was nerfed, and then 20.
Well, he was a guy that he was signed, sealed, and delivered to Fenway, right? Because Toronto was not going to give him what he wanted, right? And then it's like, okay, can you imagine if he was on the Red Sox right now doing that right now? How much people would be bitching?
Yeah, although I'm not going to lie, if they had Vladdy, that'd be pretty sick.
It'd be amazing, but you wouldn't have Contreras. And then you'd have a guy hitting half of what Contreras is doing. And then you'd be even worse off.
Yeah.
I know the name itself, Guerrero, is sexy in a Red Sox uniform, and he's another big-ass guy that I like, and I want the big asses. But it's like, Contreras is carrying the offense right now.
Yeah, he's been a beast, and like it's funny because you brought up earlier if Devers had just played first base, he'd still be here. But like if they still had Devers, is he hitting like Wilson? Like Devers never hit like this 2026 Wilson Contreras is hitting. And I'm not saying that to like absolve Craig Breslow of that absurd trade that ended up netting them Jose Bayo and Caleb Durbin. As we go down the trade tree, but like it's crazy to think about that. Like because Devers was like, I'll play first, but you got to commit to me there. So if they had said yes and we'll do that, do you ever trade for Wilson Contreras?
Nope.
And if you still have Devers, is Devers able to fend off the regression bug and and continue to torment American League pitching? I mean, again, he had a 145 WRC plus at this time last year, which is actually a year ago today that they traded him. No, a year ago tomorrow. Today, for those listening, that they'll have traded him. And yeah, I don't think they're in a better spot offensively. We're just replacing Contreras with even 2025 Raffy Devers.
Right. I mean, the only thing that want to save the current offense that they have now is if they kept Bregman, they gave him the no trade, and then Bregman is, I'm at Fenway, so I'm going to hit. So like for whatever reason, the Red Sox aren't winning at Fenway. Something juju wise would have to work for Bregman so that he would be the man at Fenway. And, he'd be hitting over 300 and have like, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 home runs right now. Like that's the only thing that they could have done differently. Now it wouldn't have been great because we were always talking during the season. They needed Contreras and a bat.
Mm-hmm.
And when we lost Bregman and then Durbin came in, you were even by getting Contreras replaced Bregman, I guess in theory, but it didn't make you better.
Right.
It made you
It's
worse actually with Durbin.
yeah, because with last year before Roman got hurt, it felt like they were a bat short of like really being
Right.
like a World Series contender. Like I thought they were going to beat the Yankees. I thought they were going to beat the Jays, and I thought they were going to meet their maker against the Mariners. I thought the Mariners were just going to abuse that lineup in the ALCS.
Okay.
I was very wrong, but I thought that they had I thought they
Sure.
had a real shot of at least getting through the American League East teams that were in the playoffs.
Yep.
So you're a bat short.
Yep.
So you lose one of your bats, and then you replace him, more than replace him, because offensively, Wilson Contreras is better than Alex Bregman is. Too.
Oh,
So,
obviously, yeah.
Which is incredibly frustrating too, because you look at all the moves that Breslow made in the offseason, and like the real issue is more the moves he didn't make outside of the Harrison trade, which is only really a problem because Harrison turned it on in Milwaukee.
Right.
But ultimately speaking, like the moves he made in the offseason were pretty damn good. Like he extended Chapman last year, so I'll throw that in the bucket of like off-season moves because they avoided having to deal with him in free agency again.
Sure.
On the open market. And like Contreras was a home run of an acquisition. Sonny Gray's been awesome. Ranger Suarez has been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Even Ryan Watson's been really good the last like month and a half. His ERA is like 2 since like the beginning of May. Tommy Kahnle's been a breath of fresh air since coming up. He's been pretty solid. Like Tyron Guerrero's been really good. They brought him in camp. Like a lot of his moves were actually really good moves. It's the moves that he didn't make. He didn't bring Alex Bregman back. He didn't get Pete Alonso. He didn't get this guy. He didn't get that guy. He didn't trade for Ketel Marte. It's the moves he didn't make that are the reason the Red Sox were 11 games under 500.
Yeah.
Not the moves that he did make, because those guys have been good.
But the free agents, you can't make them take your money if they don't want it.
Right.
I think that, I mean, if they got Murakami, Contreras probably wouldn't be here, right? Maybe first base because he's a first baseman, or is he DH?
Murakami, I'd probably put him in the DH bucket. I know he's been playing first for the White Sox.
But would he have wanted to play first base if he came here? And like,
I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like the Red Sox relationship with Japanese free agents is going to be very weird for a while because of how they treat Masataka.
Well, and that's the thing. You wouldn't be able to bring him in anyway because you have Yoshida, right? Is your DH. So, I mean, I don't know. And then, what did you think about? He hasn't done that great. The guy that Toronto signed there,
Okamoto.
Yeah, if they, I mean, he's not lighting the world on fire. I only think he's hitting like 230, 240.
Yeah, he's been an RBI machine. I think he's at like 45.
Okay, all right then.
He's in the top 30 for runs batted. Okay, and he's hit 14 home runs, which like the Red Sox still lack right-handed power. Sure.
But where does he play on this team? So you think does he play third base for Toronto, or does he play third in? Yeah.
Yeah, he'd probably. I mean, we'd be talking about Okamoto being there instead of Durbin, which he's been way better than him offensively, way worse than him defensively. But like, we're seeing the Red Sox right now as like an overcorrection of years past, where it's like if we could pitch and defend at a high level, we'd be a World Series threat. Well, they are pitching and defending at a high level, but they can't hit. So it's like, I feel like some of it was like Marcelo now playing more up the middle. You've got guys like IKF who are good defenders. Contreras is a beast over at first base. Your catcher room is pretty good.
Who's having a better year right now, Hamilton or Meyer?
Ooh, it's got to be close. I don't even know how David Hamilton is doing anymore, because I remember he had like a 400 OBP when the Brewers came to Fenway, but that was also in mid-April. Let's see how Hammy's doing. He is slashing 231, 316, 320 counting tonight. He has got 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in, 14 stolen bases. He's been better than he was last year with the Red Sox. He's been pretty close to what he was overall in 2024, just a little less pop. And then let's see where he's got 0.2 F4. Marcelo is at negative 0.1. So I guess to answer your question in a literal sense, from a WAR standpoint, David Hamilton's having a better year.
Okay, but not that, all right. Because I'm just like, okay, is there any other minor moves that maybe we might have missed that if they didn't make, or if they did make, things would be a little different? But I think it just is what it is. It just guys aren't playing up to their capability, and we're one a fever dream away from getting back in it.
Yeah. The American League, somebody brought up on the broadcast tonight The American League is so bad, you're one good week away from being like right there.
Yep,
So it's like,
that's right.
like again, I understand we're not like as Red Sox fans, it'd be silly to expect them to
Oh yeah,
right the ship,
absolutely.
but it's
Yeah.
true. If they go 6-1 in a week, they're right there.
Yeah,
Even
and,
at that point, they'd be 6 under 500. They'd be like within 2
right.
or 3 games of a playoff
And
spot.
I hate to say it, but like if the Knicks can win the NBA title, anything on planet Earth can happen.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Way to bring up the Knicks winning the title. I was wondering how we were going to bring that up.
How disgusting is that? That's like the most. Oh, it's just outside of maybe the Jets winning a Super Bowl. Like I think that's the worst possible outcome for sports for me personally. It could never happen.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't catch that.
Just like if like the with outside of maybe the Jets winning a Super Bowl. Like I don't know what is more ridiculous and gross.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Yankees winning a World Series would always hurt the most. It would annoy
But
me the
that's
most.
expected. Like the
But the
Yankees are a
Yankees,
good
yeah.
team.
Yeah, there's a level of hilarity to the fact that Knicks are the team that won the championship because it's like I saw Bill Simmons brought this up on his pod. He's like, who is now the new Knicks? Because now that the Knicks have won a title, who is now the team that's like, oh, we're gonna laugh at them because they haven't won a title in so long?
The Clippers.
He said it was the Suns. I don't
Okay.
think the Clippers have won a title.
Right.
But they also haven't been around all that long. I think they were expanded into the league in the 80s, I want to say, maybe the early 90s.
The Clippers were originally the Buffalo Bisons or something, or some weird stupid name, and then on the HBO mockumentary Showtime, they moved to San Diego or something, and then Jerry Buss buys or is involved with them somehow, and this weird thing happens, and then he gets involved with the Lakers instead, and yeah, but they I don't think they've ever won a title now.
Gotcha. So I would say I feel like it's kind of tough to pick the new Knicks and have it be a team that's never won a ring because it's like, well, the Knicks. The funny thing about the Knicks is they hadn't won one in 50 something years, and they were like constantly like in the mix. I feel like the Clippers have really only had like that one kind of stretch.
Yeah.
Although the Clippers are an interesting thing or an interesting team because they could have had SGA and they traded him for Paul George.
Yep.
Who is like one of the biggest I don't say loser in the sense that like he's a shitty dude, but like he doesn't win anything. He's been to 2 conference finals and they got bounced pretty.
I think the team that won one championship that never will win another one is probably the Raptors.
Yeah, the Raptors. The Raptors. They're just fortunate that theirs was 7 years ago, so we can't compare them to the Knicks yet. I think I like the Suns as the new Knicks.
Okay.
The Kings haven't won a title.
Nope.
So it's tough to put them in that bucket, but they also have only made the playoffs once since the early 2000s. So maybe we can move the goalposts a little bit to just playoff teams.
Right.
And then you got like the Grizzlies haven't won a ring or anything like that. But to go back to your original question, outside of the Knicks winning well, now that the Knicks have won a championship, who is like for me the team in sports that would win and also the Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup tonight while we were recording. So congrats to them. Congrats to Taylor Hall, former Bruin.
Hartford Whalers will put up another banner in Hartford.
I do wonder what the team would be for me where they win and I'm like, there's just no way that was like really possible, right? It might be the Jets. It honestly might be the Jets. I might be with you there. Or if like the Mariners ever get over the hump.
They have won before, but how disgusting would it be if the White Sox won the World Series?
Huh?
What if the White Sox won the World Series?
Yeah, but they did 20 years ago, so it's like
right. Yeah, and I think the Knicks won what 50 years ago, 1973.
Yeah.
No, 40 years. Yeah.
It was 53. Was their the last time? So 1973. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the Guardians or the Cleveland hasn't won a ring since the 50s. So maybe it's them. I think they have the current active longest drought.
Okay.
Of teams that have actually won a ring, because obviously the Padres haven't won one. I think the Brewers haven't won one yet, but they're more recent organizations. I think so. Probably Cleveland, maybe. Although, like with the way that their organizations are run, and the Rays are also a new relative to the rest of the league organization. But like the Marlins, like if the Marlins won a ring, even though they won one in 2003, I feel like it'd feel kind of ridiculous.
They won 2. They won in 97 and 2003, right?
Yeah. They won 2. It would feel kind of ridiculous if the Marlins won 1. So I'd say probably for me, the new Knicks is probably the Miami Marlins because I feel like the Mariners are always kind of right there, or at least lately, because their pitching is so ridiculous. The
Yep.
Cubs obviously already won their ring, so they can't be that team. The Mets maybe too. The Mets haven't won since '86, so just are the new Knicks just the Mets?
Same colors. Yeah, same
Yeah.
colors. Yeah.
It works out fairly well.
I still can't. I cannot believe that. I mean, I was really disappointed with how the Celtics played against the Sixers, but the Knicks, I'm like, come on. Like, I still can't get over the fact that Oklahoma City just choked the way they did. I mean, they were heads and tails above everybody during the regular season.
Yeah, I can't believe they squander that. But we don't need to. We
That's
don't
another
need.
podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast that I do with Jack. Yeah, but I think was there anything else we needed to talk about before we moved
No,
on?
I mean, I think that
the Scots made a nice appearance over the weekend.
yeah, that was huge. There was a lot of guys in Boston. I ran into a bunch of them this weekend. They were very excited. Scotland won their game. Congratulations to those guys over Haiti. And then they had Scotland night at Fenway. And I don't know who threw out the first pitch, but I think Jack said that the guy who was honored the hero among us was like 100-year-old World War II veteran who would probably storm the beaches at Normandy. So that was pretty cool. They lost, 6-4, but they were in that game and it was a winnable game. So I think overall it was a good series.
Yeah, and apparently Wilson Contreras is an honorary Scotsman.
Nice.
Like the honorary Irish Catholic Dominic
Sure.
Smith, who's a free agent after the season in case the Red Sox want to get daring and bring back Dom. That would be nice. I would welcome back Mr.
Sure.
Dom Smith. Get the honorary Irish Catholic with the honorary Scotsman.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But yeah, we may as well preview this upcoming series with the Toronto Blue Jays, who, by the way, have announced 0 starters for the series. So we are just shooting blanks. We're just shooting blanks. Jack said that Max Scherzer is starting Wednesday, but he also told me that Mason Englert was starting a game against the Red Sox in that Rays series, and he lied to me. It ended up being Ian Seymour. So, Jack, as part of your punishment for going to the Red Sox game and spoiling a sweep, I'm not taking your word for it. It's just 3 TBDs for the Blue Jays.
Are you going to come up, Jordan, with music, like Section 10 music, band music, like when somebody does something?
I don't know if we should copycat like that.
Well, I mean, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, And I mean, we might, it is probably one of the best podcasts, if not the best podcast that's out there for baseball. So I don't know, we should come up with something.
Let's click a random stock sound that StreamYard provides us.
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's see if it works for band music. No, that did not hit. Absolutely not. Dance pop is out.
Okay.
Let's try acoustic cinematic, and then if that doesn't work, we will move on. Somehow worse. Okay. Anyway.
Well.
Anyway, don't want people to go to sleep, even though we're fighting it ourselves at 11:42 p.m. So yeah, let's get into this. Red Sox are off in game 1, or not in game 1 on Monday. They are not.
They will be off in game 1. They probably won't hit. You're right.
They will probably not hit in game 1 of the series, but they are off Monday. Game 1 of this series against the Toronto Blue Jays is Tuesday at 6:45 again at Fenway Park, and it's TBD on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. My least favorite starter against Peyton Tolley, who's got a 2.70 ERA and a 2.71 FIP. Game 2 also 6:45 at Fenway Park. That is Wednesday, TBD. If you want to take Jack's word for it, I wouldn't, because he is the reason the Red Sox are bad this year.
He's a liar.
Max Scherzer's on the mound for the Red Sox in that game. Friend of the program, Max Scherzer, because Derek and Jason got to talk to him when he was on rehab in Worcester. So
sure,
shout out Max Scherzer, friend of the program.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he's pitching Wednesday.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. He's going up against Jake Bennett, 5.28 ERA, but the under the hood metrics look a little bit better. His FIP's 3.88. And then game 3 is Thursday, another getaway day at Fenway during the middle of the week at 1:30 in the afternoon. We got TBD pitching 3 days in a row. The Red Sox got to hit him one of those days. I'm sure his arm will fall off if they don't. There's a lot of pitches over 3 days. Against Sonny Gray, 3.03 ERA, 3.63 is Sonny's FIP. That is the pitching matchups. Sorry that there was none for the Blue Jays. I checked on tjstats.ca again, promo code Pesky, 25% off your first month over there. I also checked MLB.com. There are no starters announced for the Blue Jays. There was no actual tangible way of figuring it out. Unless
I
somebody
checked
mentioned it on
I checked
Twitter.
ESPN. They still have Roger Clemens on the roster for the Toronto Blue Jays. They're a little behind.
Yeah, they got Roger Clemens, followed by Ricky Romero, and then Marcus Stroman. So they got 3 different eras somehow covered in this series, and that's probably 2 out of 3. I wonder what Marcus
Dave
Stroman's
Stewart,
up
I
to.
think, was on there. Dave Steeb, Tom Hankey, George Bell was still in the outfield. Yeah, so ESPN, get your shit together.
Well, I wonder what Marcus Stroman is up to. He stunk last year. I mean, he stunk in 24 as well with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But he's just not in baseball. Nobody's giving. He got released in August of last year, and just nobody's touched him with a 10-foot pole. Which, I mean, hey, fair enough. I mean, he's
Sure.
been terrible. He's a headache. I get it.
Yeah.
Mark Stroman used to be one of my favorite pitchers, by the way. I know how to pick them. I mean, if you could take any sort of, if you could tell my dating life through my liking for certain pitchers, 2 of my favorite pitchers from the late 2010s, early 2020s, Trevor Bauer and Marcus Stroman.
You know how to pick them.
I know how to pick them. And just to put a bow on it, the cherry on top. I've been single since 2023, so I know how to pick them over there as well. But anyway, Brian, how are the Red Sox doing this week?
Well, I was going to go with a sweep, but once I heard that Jack is going to one of the games, I think it's hard not to go 2 for 3 in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm 100%. No shot they win a Jack attended baseball game. Not in the Big 2-6. Not this year. Maybe next year. But if you thought I bullied Jack tonight, which I didn't, I was very easy on him tonight. I will be insufferable when he is present next weekend.
But if they do sweep though, I expect to have. I want info. So when Jack comes back, hopefully he's got pictures, and I told him to get an interview with one of the guys from Scotland for the podcast. He said he was scared, so I don't know if that happened, but we'll see.
Did you get one of the drunk 12-year-olds?
Yeah, well, I mean, Jack could be confused for a 12-year-old too. He's not the biggest guy either, I mean, let's see what happens,
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we shall see. Maybe bonus content from
the
Scotsman.
Patreon account.
Yeah. Catch us on Patreon. We are not actually over there, so if you search for us on Patreon, I'm sorry.
But if you just want to give us money, we'll take it. Jordan needs an air conditioner.
I do need an air conditioner. I also need aloe vera. I'm let me show my arm.
How do you? Okay, so you're Portuguese, but you grew up on the Cape, and you don't understand that the sun burns your skin.
Well, I know that the sun burns my skin. I just know that, for me, unless I burn first, I don't tan. I've tried tanning oil and stuff.
Okay.
Unless I burn first, I don't tan. The problem is I wanted to wait. I wanted to be out in the sun with my arms exposed for 3 innings, and then I was going to put a jersey on over it.
Okay.
I didn't quite realize the level of competition my little brother's team was facing over the weekend. Sorry if any of the parents or kids are listening.
Sure.
But y'all got ruled every game except the championship over the weekend. So I feel very comfortable in saying I did not realize the first 3 innings of that game were going to take an hour and a half. I thought they'd take 30 to 45 minutes, and I'd have a jersey on. I'd get a light little char, nice little sear.
Yeah.
Instead, I got absolutely demolished, and my shoulder is just.
So
you can see that I had a basketball jersey on.
So what you have right now, my middle daughter had. Do you remember? Was it 2 weeks ago? We had that one day where it was 100 degrees. It was a Monday or something. So my kids all went to North Shore, Crane Beach, and Ipswich, and had suntan lotion on every part of their body except for their back. And my 6-year-old was like, "Oh, it hurts a little bit." The next day, she comes out of school crying. She can't even put it on her backpack.
Oh.
And her teacher, she's in kindergarten, and the teacher's like, "Here's her backpack. She can't put it on. She's crying too much." So that's how bad the sunburn was.
Oh, it's brutal. I've had some nasty ones over the years. I didn't even show you the hilarity aspect of it. As everybody who listens to this knows, I am a bald man. but I had a snapback on yesterday, and I
Oh
had it
boy.
on backwards.
There
So
you go.
I will reveal the
Yeah, let's see
melon
it.
just so you can see the hilarity of my
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. As
That is, sorry to give you the flashbang you there,
Mr.
Brian,
Clean
but
ain't got nothing on you, man.
dude, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place where I'm hoping all of this tans and this turns back to white because I don't want to be all jacked up.
I hear
Last
you.
year when I went to DC, my knees burned, and that was it on my legs. So my knees are tan, but
Did
the
you did
rest of my
you
legs are white.
did you ever go in an amusement park as a kid and wear sandals and then you have your feet are burnt?
No, because not to make the conversation dark, but I needed shoe lifts growing up because
Yeah.
of the ramifications of my cancer growing up.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I never could wear open-toed shoes until I was like 14 or 15 when I
Yeah.
didn't need a lift
But
anymore.
every moron who's ever been to Disney World as a kid is like, "Oh, I want to be comfortable," and then you're there for the week, and you're like, suck it up, baby, just suck it up. I'm gonna walk," and you're walking like more than you've ever walked in your entire life, but you have to go on all the rides at Disney, and
Yeah.
you suffer through it.
Yeah, you don't go there enough to not go
That's right.
to any of
Yep.
not go to all of the
Yep.
rides,
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I'm going down to Florida in November. I hope that I'll be safe to wear open-toed shoes
I
down
hope
there.
so.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
going down there for a wedding, so if I'm wearing open-toed shoes, somebody put me down because that's a party foul and a half. Um,
So
but yeah,
Jordan's going to a wedding. He's been single for a couple years. So anybody else going to that wedding, he's single. He's ready to mingle. He wants to boom boom with the bridesmaids. Let everybody know. It's gonna happen, Jordan. It's gonna happen.
that's a crazy thing to say. But you're not wrong. Like I don't know, like I'm just hey, man can dream, you know?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, did you just say like, "Hey, you ever seen the movie Fever Pitch?" Like, what's your opening line?
If that worked, I'd probably use it more.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people. I mean, I'm in that movie for 4 seconds.
you know, it's four
Four more
seconds more
seconds
than
than
I
a
was
lot
in
of
it for.
yeah. That's 4 more seconds that a lot of people are in a movie for. I still get my residual checks. I actually have one in my car. I forgot to bring it. It's probably like $4. If it wasn't 11.50, I'd make you wait and we could do a reveal. But it's 11.50, and we should wrap this up
I
in
hear
the
you.
next couple of minutes.
I hear you.
Maybe I'll do a live reveal on the weekend show. We
You
can get
should.
my next fever pitch residual check. I'll try to make sure I hide my hometown address.
Do you
I
do you,
don't
do
think
you
somebody
act? Yeah.
knows
Do
it.
you cash them or do you just frame them because it's not worth the bank won't doesn't have that much money on hand.
Just direct deposit it, and it just goes right to Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam just takes every penny of that check.
I'm
Um,
wondering if the Red Sox give you money for displaying your likeness at the stadium. Like, do you give them permission
no,
for that?
no, but I didn't really think they would need it.
Okay, I'm just saying,
I don't
yeah.
know. I think it's kind of cool. Like
I would totally bring a girl to the game and be like, hey, that's me. Not that you've done that, right?
Not that I've done that, but I have. I'm not gonna also say I haven't done it because,
Oh,
like,
jeez, that's great.
I did bring a girl to a game, not this year, but last year. I mean, I brought one this year too, but
Nice.
I went to a game last year, and my first pitch played on the jumbotron, so there was that. I didn't show
Yeah,
her where my face is plastered on
that
the.
wasn't me. That kid had long hair. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that wasn't me. As you can
That was
see
my
by my
cousin.
by my by my burnt head, it
Yeah,
clearly could not have
I
been
don't know who
me.
that was. I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
No, I hear you.
I hit the photographer in the nuts and then immediately lost my hair. So God even the score. So shout out Tony for the last
Jeez,
for
Tony had a witch doctor on you, huh? He's like, take his hair away, take it away.
yeah. Oh, he castrated me on on live TV. Take this man's hair. Make him wear a hat for the rest of his life.
Yeah, well, hey, at least it's a Red Sox hat.
That's true. Although in some years that's not necessarily a fun thing to
For
be
better or
wearing all the
worse.
time. Yeah, and I wore the Celtics hat yesterday, and my head got singed.
So
So
it's the Celtics' fault. They just screwed you this year entirely.
yeah, freaking Peyton Pritchard missed that corner three, and that's the reason that my sunburn is so bad.
I hear
Because
you.
that's life. But anyway, I
So you're 2-3 as well for the series.
yeah, I got them winning 2 of 3.
Okay.
I cannot in good faith pick them to sweep a series when I know Jack is attending a game. It just
Yeah.
can't. It can't happen. It can't
Sure.
happen. Now the irony would be if they lose 2 of 3, but they win the Jack game. Then I feel like I might have to buy him something. I don't know.
We should.
Buy him tickets to another game.
I'm going to take Jack to a game this year and see what the mojo is. I'm going to see if it's him, if it's me, if it's just the Red Sox in general that are causing the downfall of my mental sanity. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just Jack. 0-6 is 0-6 is enough.
Yeah,
of a
I've had
sample
some
size.
rough years, but I've never been over. I've never been over. Now
I've never started that bad. I think the worst start I ever had was last year. I started 2-5 or 2-6. But then I finished 11-8. Or
Okay.
no, sorry, I went to 21 Red Sox games. I finished 13-8. I think the final record was. So, or maybe 12-9, something like that. But I was above 500 is all I know.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe the problem is Jack isn't going to enough games. Maybe that's the thing. He needs to empty his bank account and go to every game of this Jays
Well,
series.
can you imagine how bad this team would be if Jack went to the away games?
You got a fantastic point. If he was in Cincinnati with me, I would have spent so much money, driven so many hours, and literally gotten to see 0 wins. It was bad enough I only got to see 1.
Yeah.
Thank God Jack stayed local for that series.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for not traveling.
Yeah, seriously. I appreciate it. Thank you for your service, Jack, and only corrupting the Red Sox at home.
All right.
But anyway, this episode has gone on long enough. It is 11:55. We are almost on. It is almost Monday. We need to get out of here before it is Monday. So that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 586, presented by Beyond the Monster and TJ Stats. Promo code Pesky for 25% off your first month over there. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at The Pesky Report. Subscribe to us on YouTube or The Pesky Report over there. And you could leave us a like or a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. For Brian, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.
Like, this is called the Pesky Report. Like.